Yo.
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is, man.
What's going on, guys?
We are back at it. You know what time it is.
Happy day.
Happy day.
What we got up?
You remember we did Zach Russian a very long time ago with this white guy at a black cookout? Mm-hmm. So he did a video that's talking about celebrating Black History Month is disrespectful. And so we all know that he is for the black community. He is for African Americans. He is cool. He's cool peoples. So I'm going to know his perspective on it because he really makes very good, valid points.
Okay.
So let's do a reaction to it and let's check it out.
Interesting.
Y'all can go back and look at that, man. We did white man at black cookout. Now we did that about maybe a year or 2 years ago.
Tell y'all a little story about how I almost got my ass whooped by a black man during Black History Month. By the end of the conversation, he was hugging me and telling me thank you for thinking the way that I think.
Okay.
I got a call last night from a buddy of mine, black buddy of mine, same guy that asked me to go to the black cookout. He said, "Hey man, how you doing?" I said, "Good, man, been a long time." He said, "I know it." He said, "Hey, look, I need a favor." I said, "All right, buddy, what you got?" He said, "Man, intercity baseball league's about to start back up, and because of everything going on and them having basically the whole world shut down, we have had zero time to do any kind of fundraising for the intercity baseball league. Would you consider sponsoring a team?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'll sponsor a team. I'm all about youth sports, 100%. I said, "I'm down like 4 flats." He said, "Are you really?" I said, "Absolutely." I said, "Can you meet me at the gas station in 20 minutes? I'll cut you a check." He said, "Yeah, buddy, I'll meet you there." So I grabbed my checkbook and like a bat out of hell, I headed to the gas station. Now I'm sitting there waiting, and my buddy pulls up, recognized his car. And buddy gets out, and an older gentleman gets out, an older black man. He introduces me, and it just so happens to be that older black man is the head guy in charge for the Intercity Baseball League, and he brought him to tell me thank you, which was completely unnecessary, but I really did appreciate it. Now, the older man had seen my Black Cookout video, and he was just jokingly asking me, he said, "Hey, buddy, you going to another Black Cookout for Black History Month?" And before I could even answer, my buddy turned to him and said, "Zach doesn't celebrate Black History Month." The amount of rage that come over this man's face was absolutely, it was ungodly. But I had already had this conversation with my buddy years ago and got him to understand why I don't celebrate Black History Month. And he was thankful.
Okay.
The old man looked at me and he said, "You don't celebrate Black History Month?" I said, "No, sir." He looked at me again. He said, "Do you care to elaborate why?" I said, "Absolutely." And I looked at him. I said, "Sir, I have absolutely no idea what it's like to walk around in America as a black man. I have absolutely no idea what it's like to be judged by the color of my skin in today's day and time.
Right.
I have absolutely no idea what it is like to have a complete history of absolute hatred bestowed upon me simply because of the color of my skin.
Okay. Right.
For me to celebrate Black History Month is an insult to you. You don't celebrate a team's win if you're not on that team. What you can do as a decent person is you can honor their win. You can respect their win. And you can be happy for them that they won.
Okay.
For having to overcome ungodly obstacles for the simple fact of just being looked at as a normal human being and an equal.
Okay.
He just kind of looked at me. He was kind of taken back by the whole ordeal. I told him, I said, "Sir, for me to sit there and tell you openly that I celebrate Black History Month is an insult to your entire race. What I can assure you is that I am in full support of it. I honor it, and I respect it to the highest power." And I told him, I said, "Because, buddy, when we all get to them pearly gates up there, the man upstairs doesn't care about color.
Not
He
one
cares
bit.
about decency."
Yep.
I told him, I said, "Do you really think if I had any kind of hate in me at all, that I would be down here cutting you a check for a league that interacts inner city black and white kids together?"
Right.
I would not be here. He said, "No, you have a point." I said, "That's right. I have a point for the fact that I don't see color. Just because I'm a redneck, talk with a draw, and spit tobacco doesn't mean that I'm holding on to the old way."
I love it.
And believe it or not, contrary to most people's popular belief, there is the majority of rednecks out there who do not think that way.
And that's what I learned from the South, because we were painted such a picture. When you see that Confederate flag, when you see that skin that's red, and driving a truck and tobacco and that they don't like black people, and then they ain't gonna, they're not gonna treat you fairly because they used to the old ways. And then as I start learning, the people who were of what he's talking about were the nice people, were the best, were the coolest, were the ones that was helping you with things that you needed. and they were treating you well. It was the people that didn't look that well redneck that you would find issues with. So he is absolutely correct, and I can vouch that 100% because I am from the South, and my family's from South Georgia. So I saw that regularly, and I never saw, but it was nothing but love from those, you know. Mm-hmm. But you think you're supposed to be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
There is prejudices given to rednecks the same way there is prejudices given to black men and women.
Yep.
He's kind of taken back at this point. He kind of steps back, and you can tell he's thinking real hard. Like, this white man is basically telling me right now that he doesn't celebrate Black History Month, but I can't argue with why he doesn't. He looked at me, he says, so basically you're telling me that you don't celebrate Black History Month because you don't have the right to. I said, you're exactly right, sir. He said, do you think there's some more of you out there? I said, buddy, I got a company called Bass, Bucks, and Birds. He said, yeah, I know about it. That's who you're writing the check from. I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, my Facebook page is predominantly rednecks because that's all I talk about is hunting, fishing, and stuff like that.
All the cool stuff.
I said, I guarantee you if I do a fundraiser for the inner city baseball leagues to help out the children to make sure that they're able to play this year, regardless of what color they are, you will see more support than you've ever seen in your whole life. He said, do you really think that? I said, I don't just think that, sir. I know that. He said, would you do that? I said, I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow morning. So, like I said, from Bass, Bucks, and Birds, which is my outdoor company, which is probably predominantly white, any subscription box that is bought from my company for this month, the proceeds are going to the inner city kids.
Let's go.
I'm going to show them, not just tell them, I'm going to show them that there is decent people out there regardless of the color of their skin and regardless if they talk with a draw.
See, let's go.
I am not only going to express to him the fact that I'm that way, I'm going to prove to him that the old days and the hatred that people think that they're holding on to and this, that, and the other is gone.
Yeah.
And if you're one of them idiots that holds on to that kind of hatred, you have absolutely no business at all on my page. At all.
Right.
Like I was talking about the preconceptions and stuff, just because I'm a redneck, I'm the opposite of racist. I'm well known for going to my first black cookout, which I was shown more respect there than I ever have in my life. And I will continue throughout my life to match that respect in every way, shape, and form.
Wow.
So if you want to be a part of it and you want a subscription box from me, go to the link in the description and buy a subscription box because I'm fitting to support that whole league. I told him, I said, I do honestly believe that the amount of people on my page and the amount of people that have let go of the hate and has finally accepted the fact that we are all God's children,
right,
I can get you enough support to fund this whole league. So if you
Let's
want to be a
go.
part of it, click the link in the description. And if you're one of the people that's holding on to hate, hit that unfollow button because you got no business at all on my page.
Let's go.
I love everybody, and that's always going to be the case.
Amen.
Shit.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If black people could see more of this kind of persons, they could, because this is more the norm now that I've seen more from the south. You know what I'm saying? So if black people could see more of this, it's going to start shaping and changing your ideologies of what you think racism looks like. And when your president is going around telling people of this kind of racism, he needs to go sit down because these people have started, that hate has started to fade. You still got a couple of those mindsets out there, but those aren't the majority. Those are more the minority now.
Oh, that's good, y'all. Cabbage, apple, lime, ginger. Digestion.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and whatever I was watching, all the learning and things that I'm learning, guys, and I'm sharing. You know, we share as we learn. We share. We learn. We share. So, whenever I was watching, it was making me realize, about Republicans and how things started, you know, for us back in history, and how many blacks were Republicans.
Yeah.
And most politicians were Republicans. The president was Republican.
Yeah.
So it made me realize where the mindset, you know, why people from the southern states who were the last to leave the Confederate,
Yeah.
why they have such an ingrained mindset of white supremacy. because it was for real down in the South. I have stories my dad would tell me.
I have stories.
I have experienced it.
Yeah.
You know, partly, I don't remember experiencing it as a kid, maybe to a degree, but not so much. But as an adult, I can say I've experienced it once or twice. And then I saw when we lived in Villa Rica, we saw it. And then why people from the North have, you know, that less mindset, and maybe out West, because, and even higher up on the East Coast, because it was the mindset. They were already free states, and people from the South were going to the North to get free.
And to the West.
So when you have that long mindset of white supremacy, because you've dealt with it, it's been in your state, that perspective has been painted generation over generation to look from that lens. Mm-hmm. But you got to go back and do your research.
That's right.
And I'm not going to say racism is a race. It may never, ever be eradicated, because, you know, ignorance is bred generation after generation, and the parent teaches the kid that ignorance. Is up to the kid to decide whether they want to detach from it. I don't want to go on no soapbox, but I'm just saying it made me realize why people from the South have such a deep,
it is deep
lock in, because we were those people.
Yeah.
We had the same mindset until we had to branch out and break away, because God don't see no color.
Yeah.
He talked about heritage, Hittites, Israelites, the other people I was listening to this morning in the Bible app.
Yeah.
God don't play the radio. He didn't play the radio.
And what's so funny, I was just going to say,
but it wasn't no race. I'm sorry, let me just finish this little point real quick. It was no race. He didn't talk about race. It was a heritage. This area was named this based off of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, society, ignorance and stupidity is how we got on this, nonsense. But God don't see that.
But you know what I'm starting to notice too? Why it was so easy. And, I'm just going straight up. We know that family, and we probably have family and friends that probably, in the South, that probably don't understand why we chose what we chose and why we switch what we switch. But you notice that once we left from a place where it was more acceptable for everybody to vote and look the same to a place where people weren't thinking like that, and you in your own bubble, and you got your own stuff going on, you able to your free mindset flows, and you can think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that made it so much easier to me, because it was no influence to us.
True, but we still have always been people to think for themselves.
Oh, yeah,
and make a decision for themselves, whether we were right together or wrong together, or we were both, you may have thought one way, I may have thought another way.
Yeah.
But the point is, that is what I feel like part of our purpose is to help people think for themselves.
For yourself.
Because if you don't make informed decisions, then based off of the truth, and you want to make informed decisions off a lie, woe to you. Or
someone will make those decisions for you.
Woe to you. That means you're walking around here in a fake reality, making decisions off false information. So, I mean, how can you even be in touch with yourself? But when you do that, it shows that you're not in touch with yourself.
True.
You don't really know who you are, who God is in you. And I ain't judging. I'm just saying.
All right, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nosedive, but comment down in the section below if you want some.
We'll
see you on the next one, man.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.